Alright, in this video I'm going to explain what shape or voicing we can use for a B-flat-7 chord. As you probably noticed up to this point when we were looking at learning about our voicings and you were seeing the symbols on the screen, we said, it said on the screen that B-flat and the B-flat-7 symbol both use that same shape with the one chord, the shape which we should be familiar with now. And I wanted to do in this video is sort of explain the subtle difference between B-flat and B-flat-7, and just to give you an idea of how to use it. Now the cool thing is if this is a little too complicated and you just want to stick to the three chords, you can totally do that. There really won't be much of a difference. You can always just play your B-flat shape on the B-flat-7 chord. And I'm sure the other thing you probably noticed is if you were looking at the play-along video with the chord progression, the B-flat-7 only happened for one bar out of the 16 bars that the tune is. And it's always followed, when it does that, by E-flat. And what we call those chords, we start to see them a lot in jazz as things get a little more complicated. We call them passing chords because they only happen for a very short time and they're sort of meant to bridge the gap between two chords. And that's really what the B-flat-7 is. So that's sort of the the explanation behind what it is and where it is. And if you want to understand more of the theory behind it, it would be a really good idea to check out the piano videos because they talk a little bit more about how the shapes that we play on the guitar, the theoretical basis for those chords, where they come from. So you can always check that out. And again, there's tons of resources online and on YouTube. But just to keep things as simple as possible, if you remember, we already have a type of 7 chord. The F7 chord, our 5 chord, right, is based on the fact that our root is an F, the 5, and we have an E flat. That's what we call the flat 7 because it's 2 semitones down from an F, or 2 frets. So if we like the same pattern with our B flat chord, our first note is B flat, and we want to get an A flat because that's the flat 7 of B flat. So if we look down 2 frets from B flat, we realize that all we have to do to play a B flat 7 chord is we take our regular B flat shape, we lift our ring finger, and then that goes opens up the A flat that's part of our bar chord. So as you can see, that's the only difference. So if we take a look at the chord progression, what we're really doing is, this is the second half of the tune, the B section. We go from B flat to B flat 7, so we just lift our finger, and then we put down our ring finger again for the bar for the E flat. So what I'm going to do now is play those 3 chords nice and slow for you one more time. And on the screen you'll see the chord symbols, just to further drive the point home. So here's B flat, B flat 7, E flat. And then everything else is basically as you learned it. So if you want to add that passing chord, go right ahead. And if you take a look at the examples where you see me playing the chord progression on the video, you'll notice that I'm playing that passing chord, and so now you know where that's coming from and how that works. So again, if it's not clear, feel free to rewind the video. I would strongly suggest to check out the piano videos that explain the theory a little bit better. And in the meantime, though, there's your shape, and feel free to use that whenever you're playing through this tune. And you'll start to see that that sound of B-flat-7 in the key of B-flat is a very strong sound. So there you go. Enjoy.